players? The homie C-Rod, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5, or my top 5 most favorite decks and most favorite fun decks that I have ever played in Dragon Ball Super card game. And a little quick story about me. I'm a veteran to Dragon Ball Super card game, guys. I've been playing this game before it even came out. I swear to you, me and Tony G, a little quick story on how I got into Dragon Ball Super card game. Me and Tony G were at the anime convention. We were working our butt offs, man, dealing with like 500 people in like the span of an hour, just selling mangas to these guys. Here's some Berserker. Here's some Hero Academia. Here's some Dragon Ball Super. Here's some One Piece. Here's some Naruto. Just like slanging these mangas hardcore, man. We were putting in hard work. And then one of the ladies that I happened to sell this Yu Yu Hakusho manga was like, "Oh, you like Dragon Ball?" And I was like, "Yeah, I like Dragon Ball." She's like, "Oh, they have a little Dragon Ball booth over there in the corner." So we go to the corner of the convention. It's one of the smallest booths in the convention, and it didn't really have a big line. And I saw that there was like Dragon Ball Super cards, and I was like, "Huh, interesting." So starting it off with my first deck that I have ever played has to obviously be one of the most fun decks I have ever played, because if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be playing Dragon Ball Super card game till this day. And the game's like little to over a year. So the first thing, when they first announced the game, I think, was at the convention, and they had this thing right here. They had this structure deck, and I was looking at it, and I was like, "Damn, it looks tight. It looks super tight, man." The Awakening structure deck is brings tears to my eyes because it's a beautiful deck. And check it out right here. This one, Soul Striker, has to be one of my the most fun decks that I've played. Soul Striker, so it's number 5, I guess. It would be Soul Striker, man. This guy is killer. Not only is he literally a killer and he could get you games, Soul Striker deck, the one that I first started off my journey to Dragon Ball Super card game with, is one that, man, it not only wrecks your opponent, it actually gets W's. You, on top of that, guys, it's just overall just a dynamic leader. You can build so many decks with this guy, but the good old original has to be one of my favorite decks. Obviously now there's more different cards you guys could add to Dragon Ball Super card game and pimp this deck out, but the good old-fashioned just mono blue, where I had to ramp up to like 7 energies and then beat my opponent with the Limit Breaker Son Goku, the super rare. Good old nostalgic Dragon Ball Super card game fun right there. And that's where my love for Dragon Ball Super started. So obviously it has to be Goku. And then after that, guys, my number 4 spot for the most fun decks that I have played in Dragon Ball Super card game since day one, since before day one, guys, happens to be Golden Frieza, man. I went to the Core TCG event. That was one of the first Dragon Ball Super card game biggest tournaments, I feel, that was over here in the West Coast, at least, besides Gen Con, where they really like took the tournament Dragon Ball TCG competitive scene up to the tournaments. But I took my Golden Frieza, man, and I got this Golden Frieza. It was red, blue Golden Frieza with double strike Champa, with Champa in it. Golden Frieza was mobbing with the Frieza army, but it was like I had Champa and Kaba and the Universe 6 cards in it. And I kid you not, man, I was wrecking all these people in the tournament, left and right. I'm like, oh, going in, double strike Champa out of nowhere. And that was before like double strike Champa was even a thing. Everybody was all about the cell chain and the androids and stuff, but I was running Golden Frieza with Champa's godly essence behind me, and it was so much fun. Just bringing out the sorbets. Believe it or not, I actually almost topped the last round. I was on table 8, and if I would have won that round, I would have been top 8 at the Core TCG first event. But I scrubbed out. I comboed my whole hand, and I had a double strike Champa to go for game, and then I forget to throw the double strike Champa, and that's how I lose, guys. Yeah, pretty darn sad. But ever since then, I remembered to throw double strike Champa first. So Golden Frieza, pop in your Frieza army members. It's my number 4 spot. And coming into my number 3 spot, another deck that came into my life, and I had so much fun that I kept playing it, was Broly, man. No, like, obviously now you're not gonna win anything with the first set Broly, but this Broly card and this Broly leader right here was so much fun, man. Kicking people's butt. I went to the Toledo, Ohio event over there on with my good old homie Farouk. If you ever watched this video, that was a really awesome tournament that he had with like over 100 something people, and it was like in the start of Dragon Ball Super card game. This is when Overround was barely announced, and I went to take my Broly deck. I had so much fun with the hand destruction. You just attack, hand destruction, attack, hand destruction. You play your Chaos, the good old Broly alternative looking card, and you blow up the field, and then you crit them down, and you plus, and then you kill your Bio Broly to like regenerate him and keep the pressure going with the hand destruction mayhem. Awesome fun. I did phenomenal for taking a Broly deck to where there was androids running around, there was Mecha Frieza running around. That's what back then when it was kind of broken, right? And I still managed to beat a Mecha Frieza. I got like 11th place. No, I got like 12th place. I didn't make top 8. I got 12th place, but still good. I got 12th place with a Broly deck. And then Soul Striker, the number 5 spot, was like was up there, man. I think it was like one of the top 8 decks for sure. But I think Vegeta took that one. And Vegeta, don't get me wrong, is also an awesome deck. There's a lot of fun decks out there, but these are my specific ones. If I don't say you're like top 5, I'm sorry, but I played almost every single deck because we make battles, me and Tony G. So these are like my top 5 from like my adventure in this Dragon Ball Super card game journey. So yeah, that's gonna be my next spot. I have Broly with the Broly's ring doing his golden thing. So freaking fun. I recommend you guys try it. Like, obviously don't take these leaders to the most competitive tournament scene because you're gonna get blasted by Hirudegarn Storm, which is a very not my favorite deck at all to even play against or even play. Not a big fan of it. It's just a very autopilot, a lot of thinking, but autopilot. You know what you're gonna do. You're gonna do the same 3 steps back and forth. So yeah, Broly takes number 3. My number 4, my number 2 spot happens to be XENO Trunks. Yup, believe it or not, I never even played Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I bought the game, but I could never really get into it. I'm more into Dragon Ball Fighters. But I bought Xenoverse, and I had no idea who Xenoverse Trunks was. I just knew he was a thing in Xenoverse. And I picked up the leader, and me and Tony were like, oh, we gotta make a video. What video can we get? What should we make? And then I was like, what about we do XENO Trunks versus Mira, since they're like from the same arc. So I picked up the deck, I made a deck around it, and guess what? I was like, holy cow, man, this guy is freaking fun. And he's so much fun because what he does is when you attack, you mill the top 2, and if you happen to have a red or blue card in the drop area or in the battle area, you draw 1 card, and then you get to overwhelm a lot. So you're like warping in and out of like the warp zone, if you will, and you're just manipulating your drop area and plussing a lot. And this is one of the first leaders that was like that would consistently draw you cards. And then this is where like I kind of abused the XENO engine before like people would really use the XENO engine. What I mean by the XENO engine is you chain attack Trunks, and then you bring down the XENO, and then you just completely blow up the field. Everything goes back to the hand. We all shuffle and draw 5 cards, and then XENO Trunks would just outpace you with the overwhelm and bringing out a Scientist Few from space. Yeah, well, I had a lot of fun with that deck. If you guys have not seen that deck or have no idea what I'm talking about, well, it's a lot of fun. All these decks I have a deck profile for on our channel. Actually, I scratched that. I don't think I've ever made a Soul Striker. Tony G has a couple Soul Striker videos, and the Frieza deck also, and the Broly deck I think as well. And then this XENO Trunks I made a video on. You guys can go check that one out. And then what is my number 1 deck right now? So my whole journey in Dragon Ball Super card game, I gotta say my number 1 most fun deck that I have ever played is every freaking deck that I have played, man. There you go. Boom, Twister. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get a lot of dislikes for that. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, my number one favorite deck has to be almost every deck that I've played, because every deck that I have played has a different complete twist, which is unique for Dragon Ball Super card game, like, or for other card games, because I don't know how to explain it, but every single deck that I just explained, like the Soul Striker deck, the Frieza deck, the Broly deck, the XENO Trunks deck, and every other deck that I played, the Vegito deck, the Apes deck, the Mecha Frieza deck, even that, the GT deck, man, I don't know, but they're all freaking awesome, and they all work in their own unique way. So honestly, my number one has to be like every deck. Like the ability to play every deck makes it awesome, you know. But the fact that if I were to have to say one of my always go-to, I have a blast playing, has to be Super Saiyan 4 GT deck. Yeah, that's what it is. After just rambling on about nothingness and saying how they're all my number one, come down to it, I have to put one on top, and it has to be Super Saiyan 4 GT. I just like going into the triple flash, man. Triple flash, Super Saiyan 4, no negates, deflect, triple strike, draw 2 for just one energy evolve has always had it's been in my spot in my heart, because I love Super Saiyan 4. I can't wait for them to come out with a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta card. That'll be sick, or a leader. But as of now, it would have to be Super Saiyan 4 GT Pan. I really enjoy playing Pan in general. Like, you can play Pan with anything and it'll top, but it has to be Super Saiyan 4 GT Pan deck. That is probably my most fun. That's my most fun. I know a lot of you guys have fun with Victory Strike, Mastered Ultra Instinct. There's so many fun decks out there. That's why I had to say that little thing that all the decks are fun. But that's mine, personal, from my adventure in Dragon Ball Super card game. So that's gonna be the end of the video. Let me know if you guys agree. Most likely you guys have different opinions, but if you guys are new to Dragon Ball Super card game, I want to say check those out. And like I said, this isn't based on, oh, this deck wins a lot. It's just based on I had the most amount of fun, and I play those decks the most out of every other deck there is. So like we always say, y'all stay super.